We're live. Yay. Okay. Oh, crikey, that was quick. Okay, Kev's here and Kai. Hi, guys. And obviously, so is my lovely friend Evie. And so I'm not here on my own today. Yay. Just before we went live, we were talking about one of Robin Hobb's earlier writing forays under her other pseudonym, Megan Lindholm, about Wizard of the Pigeons. And how, even though I am probably the biggest Hobb stan out there, not hugely brilliant.
It is not. It is a high bar that Realm of the Elderlings has set, and it did not meet that.
It didn't, which was really sad. Hi, Anita.
Anita!
So, yeah, it was, yeah, and look, Starling, Tori, look at all these lovely people. Goodness me. So you're never this excited about me, Kev. Crikey. Have we Penny's here? Laura's. Look at all of this. Oh, you're all fabulous.
Well, I know a lot of people, mainly Tori, and maybe Anita, because I can't remember if Anita read it. They'll be abandoning us at 7:30 for the Shogun talk.
Oh, of course, yes.
So we forgive you, okay?
Hey, you've put in the time, you know, because Shogun's a hefty.
You could kill a man.
That's a weapon. Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot. So you deserve the. Listen to. It's an accent. It's strange, and usually not predictable. Who was it? Somebody might have been a Irish comedian, I think, Ed Byrne. He said that the Kiwi accent is just random vowel syndrome. Just pick a sound and put it in wherever a vowel is. So it's hard to get right if you're not a Kiwi.
But, I mean, you know, anyone that has a different accent than what you have is just like, it's like the grass is always greener. It's like, oh, your accent's so beautiful, so lovely. And then probably you listen to some American accents or like, oh, that accent's so great. And it's like, you know, down by the river, we're
it's
just
literally
doing this.
So. Yeah, it's just how I talk. And we've got Theo as well.
Hi, Theo.
Busy in here. People waiting for Shogun. So what are you going to be reading, Evie?
I am going to be reading still The Folding Knife by KJ Parker. I am...
Oh, you're close to the end.
I'm literally 60 pages from ending. But this is probably going to take me, depending upon how long we go tonight, at the very least, all of these sprints.
Fair enough.
So I tend to get like 10 to 12 pages each, like if we do every 30 minutes. So yeah. We'll see.
Wow. Sorry. I think this is a lot of us when we go, yeah, I'll join you for reading that. When you go, yeah, I'm totally going to do that. And then don't do that. So I don't think you're alone, Theo.
I'm going to tell on myself. It's kind of like when you sign up for a readathon and then say, oh, I don't really have time for a readathon right now, or the mental capacity. Sorry, dearie.
Yeah. Or, you know, we literally go out of our way to make sure we both have a copy of a book and go, oh, I'm sorry, bailing.
Yeah. That's me again.
Lucky we love you, really.
Yeah. I mean, listen, to be so real on the internet, listen, 3.5 weeks of a depression is not that great on. So I'm just recovering, and I don't want to do too much at too quickly. So
I hear you. I do. You guys don't very rarely know that I'm struggling, but every now and then, if there's a big gap between when the last time I messaged and the next time you see me on Discord, I've probably been hiding. I've been in bed. But reading was fun. We feel that. We feel that. Definitely feel that. Who's this reading historical fiction? Caitlin. Book might be book of the year. Ooh. Well, tell us what it is. Crikey. You can't say that and then not tell us what it is.
Nice.
It's printed on Legend. God, I read that so many years ago. I don't even remember any of it.
Every time I see someone talking about that book, I think of the Tom Cruise movie. So
okay, now you're really showing your age, Evie.
So here's the thing: I haven't actually.
Tom Cruise still had one front tooth at that point. He hadn't had his teeth fixed.
Yeah. Sorry,
now you can never unsee that. Anyone who ever watches an early Tom Cruise movie.
Got that chipped tooth, baby. Yeah. What are you going to be reading, Derry?
I am on The Way of Edan.
Nice.
Because I haven't picked it up since my last sprint, which is very naughty of me. But it's I'm really enjoying it. Like I totally get when people say it's Tolkien but with Gwyn. Like I get it because it kind of goes brutal and in your face and wow, okay, that's a lot. Wow, okay, Philip, I didn't know you could go there. Okay. And then it gets beautiful and just atmospheric and you're just like, oh, wow. And then slaps you in the face with brutal again. And it's impressive. I'm impressed so far.
Nice.
Because it doesn't seem as jarring as it sounds.
How far into it are you?
Almost 20%.
Oh, nice.
So, I don't know what that works. Just over 100 pages, I think, because it's 500 and something. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Caitlin's reading Hamnet. That's a book that
it's Hamnet. Oh. You've read that, haven't you?
No, I haven't. I've been wanting
to. Is that on your to-do?
Yeah.
Who do I know?
Along with everything else.
Leanna. So. Leanna's read Hamnet, I think.
Yeah, and she didn't like it. It makes me very sad. But Angela.
But this is not a hot take from Leanna.
It's true.
It's more exciting when she does like something. Because you're like, what?
Well, apparently it's not a hot take because Emily was disappointed in it, and that makes me sad.
No.
Wah.
But Caitlin's enjoying it. Such a great book.
I'm going to just put my blinders on and just listen to you, Caitlin.
Yep, this is what the joy of BookTube is, finding the people whose tastes align most often. But we don't need that on there. That's me playing with banners earlier. But we can obviously start reading shortly. So we know we've got a Hamnet on the go, and we've got, what else did we see that was on the go?
Legend. Emily's reading Undertaking of Heart and Mercy.
Yeah. Well, hopefully everybody's got a pretty good book in here.
Oh, Kai, yes! He's almost 50% into City of Last Chances.
Yes, that was the earliest book. Yes.
I love that book so much.
Everybody's saying that's really good.
It is so good. Like, holy crap. Oh, it's so good. Oh, Chadia's reading Thistlefoot. Nice. By the way, Chadia, I need send me your email address because your wish list just has Kindle stuff on there, and I need your email to be able to send you stuff. Spoiler alert.
Evie likes to be able to just randomly send people stuff.
Listen, I asked for her address. I tried to demand it, and she still refused. She has the will of an iron fist. So
fair enough. Well, I'm very impressed with you, Starling, because that's one of my favorites.
That is also another. So that's one of the. No, wait.
Midnight's Children.
Yes, I think that's the one. That's the one. One of the books that Midnight's Children is one of the books that Josiah Bancroft recommended. When I asked him, I was like, "Hey, what are some books that you would recommend, either favorites or recent reads or whatever?" And he just gave me a handful of them, and one of them was Midnight's Children. I was like, "Okay, on the list."
Keep that one. And looks like Theo's halfway through. Where are we? No, not that one. City of Lost Chances. Here we go.
So City of Last Chances came out in December in the UK, and that's how I read it. So because I ordered a copy from the UK.
I see. Because I think Pete's reading that at the moment as well.
Yes, I think he got a UK copy, and then like I know it's still available on NetGalley, I think, as an e-arc because it comes out in May? Question mark.
I mean, why do they do that? I mean, I get it back in the day because shipping and physically not being available, but it is now, and that's a thing. You can just order it from another place.
Right.
Like,
also,
why?
this pleases me, Laura, that you're reading Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell.
So. Yeah, I knew you'd like that. Yeah, sneaky. Been in Kiev. Well, I'm thinking we're 10 past. Do you want to read for sort of 20 minutes, half an hour? What do you reckon?
I'd say I'd vote half an hour.
Half an hour? All right. Well, if we read until 40 minutes past, where are we? Reading until 40. Look at that.
Listen, Kev, if you fall asleep on camera, we'll just mute you and it'll be like.
Oh, yeah, I'll just leave the stream going.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be the equivalent of watching one of those like fireplace things, on in the background.
Well, to be fair, it depends on how badly you snore.
Yeah. Just so,
Anyway. All right. Well, I'm going to mute everybody and we're going to read and talk to you in half an hour. little gentle welcome back, everybody. Okay. We have a Pete. Oh, you're muted, Pete. There you go.
Hello.
Hi. Good to see you.
Good.
What
You don't hear any like buzzing, right?
No.
Fantastic. I'm good. I am reading Kingdom of Liars by Nick Martell.
Ooh. Kingdom of Liars. Who's? Oh. Okay, tell me about Kingdom of Liars.
It's about a kingdom of liars. What?
So anywhere really.
Yeah, essentially. So yeah, there's definitely like themes of like governments trying to like cover things up. You'll notice on the cover the moon is broken.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or one of the moons. The magic system, if you misuse it, you forget things. Like you lose your memory. So that's interesting. And
well, that sounds like
the main character,
self-fulfilling prophecy, really.
something like that. But so the main character's dad was executed for killing the king's son. And his dad was the king's best friend, but also like they had a special role within the kingdom that is ill-defined as of yet. Or his family, the Kingsmen. And he's kind of trying to get his name. He's trying to bring his family's name back to prominence, essentially. So, and figure out what happened with his dad, because he doesn't think his dad would ever, kill his best friend's son. So,
interesting.
Okay, so thought-provoking.
A little bit. I think there's some writing things that I'm like that are frustrating to me. Like there's the white room syndrome. I wish he would describe things a little bit more, and I wish there was a map to the city.
White room syndrome?
So essentially there are some scenes that are so heavy with dialogue and so little description that I don't have a sense of where the characters are. Like I might be told, oh, he went to this place, but I don't know what that place looks like. I can't like the background in the city. Yeah, I have very little context to what that place is.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Sort of the opposite of Buckkeep.
Yes.
Because that's our favorite immersive world. But
exactly.
They were saying earlier in the chat that it's a handful of people all reading The City of Lost Chances. How are you finding that? You're enjoying it too, huh?
Yeah, I've already finished it. I finished it ages ago, or a month or two ago.
Okay. I knew I had a connection with you there, so there you go.
Yes, I loved it.
You are not alone, from all accounts. It's always good, isn't it? It's like, yes, somebody else loved it. I'm not alone. Yeah.
I'm right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's like, I feel completely valid in my opinions. This is wonderful.
Amazing.
Emily, what are you reading that you're in an oh no moment? That has me intrigued, because you can always ignore us, put it on mute, and go past your oh no moment.
True.
I think she said she was reading Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, right?
Oh yes, that's right.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a romance fantasy. But it's not a fantasy romance. I don't know. Yeah, Theo just bought City of Last Chances. I'm assuming that's what you just bought, Theo.
I'm assuming that too. What are the two of you reading?
I'm reading Phillips. I'm reading The Way of Dan.
Ooh,
I'm still reading this.
Slowly but surely.
I literally read 10 pages in that sprint, so I was not lying when I said I would read 10 pages in 30 minutes. I don't know what that says about my my reading speed, but
you are taking your time.
Yeah, I'm going the speed that I need to go, but I literally have 50 pages left now.
Awesome.
Of the book?
Yep.
Ooh.
It's fantastic. I'm reading speed is just whatever speed your brain likes the information coming in at.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the reason, other than being in a 3.5 week depression and still recovering from that. But that's also part of the reason why I backed out of the readathon, is because I'm like, I don't want to rush through books right now. Like, I want to take the time that I need with them. So, yeah. Hi,
I
Madison.
I would bring my cat, but he's literally on the bed snoring in a very squeaky fashion. It is very entertaining.
I
Where
mean,
am
you
I
can
in the
always
book?
grab the cat and
No, then he'll be grumpy.
but it'll be cute.
It will be cute.
Grumpy
That's
cats
all right.
are cute.
You will see the cat before the end of the sprint. I just don't want to upset him right now because he's clearly in a very deep sleep. I'm at 20% in the Way of Dan, and the High Priest Blether has just discovered our protagonist exists, and that's interesting.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. It's got a very old school feel with modern day sensibilities. It's a really good mix.
That makes sense.
So yeah. Well, the sun's come out finally. It's been a gloomy morning, misty and foggy.
What time is it there?
Just before lunchtime, so midday and quarter of an hour.
Nice.
So finally the sun's out.
Mhm.
We're heading into winter, so that's not unusual for it to take that long for the mist to sort of burn off. But that's all right. It's just like, oh, maybe I should open windows.
Yes, I did back out of the readathon, Anitha. And I know, Madison, I don't have to rush and read all the 5 books, but I also don't want to hold back the team and not be able to get maximum number of points because I'm being the slacker. So
yeah. It's too much pressure. I get it.
I mean,
I
as
will
readathons
cheer
go,
on everyone from the sideline, mostly Team Dairy. So
sadness.
Yeah, it's too much pressure, and when you're coming out of it, you're just like, I can't let somebody else down, even though that's not anything that's happening.
Yeah.
That sense of guilt in yourself is too hard.
Yeah.
So I get it. That's fine. So.
And I know the feeling, like the whole concept, just not letting people down in a readathon just because you're like,
yeah,
like, and I know it's all like, it's like whose line is it anyway? The game where everything's made up and the points don't matter. Yeah, like I know it's like it means nothing, but at the same time, I'm like, some people are really, really invested in this, and I don't want to be the cog.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I do get it. I mean, so much of depression is the pressure you put on yourself to achieve, and then the failure to achieve, and then it becomes that ever decreasing spiral, and it's really hard to stay out of it. But
I mean, I already disappointed Tanner, and he's already done with his reread of Sinless Innocence, and I haven't even started. So, whoops.
Never mind. He wasn't reading it alone, so
yeah, no, I know
it's all right. And yes, he's working. He's an inside agent.
Kev, I really think that you should skip working out a few days just to read, and live up to your potential in this readathon. No pressure at all.
Kev not living up to his potential is the thing. This is a good thing for me. I'm okay with this.
Hi, Lauren.
Hey, Lauren. It's good to see you. Even earlier in Australia. Oh dear. Must be what?
Is she Australia Western or Australia Eastern time?
Yeah, that's a good question. You're trying, Pete. Well, you certainly try me, Kev. So,
It's all good.
That's all right. He knows I love him, really. Battle of the Bands. Because I can't work the points of the books I'm reading here.
Well, to be fair, with Battle of Bands, I think max points is if you read like 20 books. 'Cause,
Ooh.
like you can get like, I think there's 5 prompts per team, and then you could take away points from the other teams by reading their prompts,
Ooh.
which
Okay,
is a really interesting concept.
That's quite an aggressive readathon.
It is.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, I'm not reading 20 books, and I'm gonna
that's asking quite a lot, really.
Yeah, I'm just gonna find things, find prompts that my books will fit, and if I don't get like max efficiency, I'm fine.
Yeah. Yep. The key mark one is far more laid back. It's literally just let's just get these books read. And I'm looking forward to be able to say at the end that altogether we knocked this many books off the pile. And that's pretty cool.
A tiny chip in a large
Very
mountain.
We got rid of 5 books from our TBR, but we added 12 more. So
we don't need to mention that half of the equation. We all already feel bad enough about it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, it is aggressive, Mads. It's. I mean, I kind of like it, but you're very much going to get the hardcore readers in there.
Yeah.
And there's also like the strategy of like if you can read like from other teams' prompts, and you lose points, like you take points from them, and so you can just everyone can. Honestly, this would be hysterical, and I hope this happens. Everybody just reads for other teams, and everybody just has negative points, and at the end, it's the person with the least negative points. So
that would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious. I'll have to keep an eye out. We'll have to talk to Kate. She'll let us know, because I'm pretty sure, Kate's captaining a team.
Yep, she's on Queen, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We are the champions, my friend.
I think I have prompts for that specific song that I'm going to take points away from her.
Nice.
No, sorry, she's Beatles. Even though
that makes more sense. I remember reading the team names and going, "Oh, that's cool," but Queen would have been cooler because Freddie.
Look, the Beatles are great.
They are great, and best songwriting duo ever. But
Beatles
Queen.
are overrated.
Evie, this is
chill.
Do I even know you? What the heck?
I'm just being I'm pulling a Kev here, and I'm just trolling.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're channeling Kev. Okay, right.
The spear cuts through water is overrated, so chill.
You haven't even read it, Pete, so shut your mouth.
It's the beginning of a blood feud. Oh no. Oh no.
So, funny story. The first time I really actually listened to any Beatles songs, and knowing it was the Beatles, was watching the Across the Universe musical film that was all Beatles, made up of all Beatles music. Do you guys remember that movie? Across the Universe?
Vaguely.
It's got Evan Rachel Wood. Oh God. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's a whole cast of other characters, but that's the only big name from it. But yeah, it's okay. I tried watching it again. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. But
yeah, it's that's just that. I don't know.
Thank you, Madison. Madison remembers. There's even, I'm pretty sure. I think it was "I Am the Walrus." When they're performing that song, they literally go on an acid trip, and it's great. So
that makes sense. I would hope so. That song is an acid trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do wonder if that song, "I Am a Walrus," inspired the weird horror film that's like
Tusk?
The Walrus or something.
Tusk, you mean?
Would not surprise
Tusk.
me.
Yes, I do mean Tusk. Thank you.
Great film, by the way.
I've not watched it. I never will. I've seen stills.
It is so Kevin Smith directed it, if I'm not mistaken. It is so freaking weird.
It is. That's an
But also
understatement.
if it's
Yeah.
Tusk, it's Fleetwood Mac. So
Again, Pete, you haven't watched it, so you can't say.
I have a friend that his wife now makes him watch horror movies, and he's like horror movies it can be pretty good, but his wife is like, horror movies are great, and she made him watch this, and he was so scarred he described the movie in intimate detail. I'm pretty sure I basically watched it at this point.
On the flip side, Kevin Smith then wrote and directed Yoga Hoosiers, based on
I know
characters that were in Tusk, played by his daughter and Johnny Depp's daughter.
Isn't that like a TV show about two Canadian girls that like work in a?
That is, but it is.
There's more to it.
No, it started off as a film. Unless I'm getting my film names mixed up, which is probable.
yeah, it's possible. I'm lost on this one. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Yoga Hosers. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was.
So I didn't know
Yeah.
they made it into a TV show.
No, I was just tripping.
Seems to be the theme of the day.
Tripping and stumbling and flipping and fumbling. Sorry.
That's fine.
Fergalicious, baby. So
You're fine. You're good to go.
is either Pete's too young or Derry, maybe you're a little bit
I'm
too
too
old
old.
for that reference. But
I
I'm just over here,
I do not have Fergalicious memorized,
No.
though I am old enough to remember a little bit of the craze.
Madison, please save me on
Look,
this.
I'm
We're
sorry.
really, we're in the same wavelength and age
Sorry.
group, apparently.
At the time, it was really popular. I'm like, this is a weird song. Why
Listen.
are people like
Whereas
this?
I'm going, yeah, those are lyrics I've heard.
Apparently, the Fergalicious song is making a comeback through a TikTok. I don't know the context, but it's coming back.
Ooh, that's dangerous. The
Ask
context
one
could
of
be a
the
lot of
teenagers
different
when they
things.
get in from school. They'll know.
Fergalicious.
Madison, so I was quoting tripping, stumbling, fumbling, falling in love from that Fergie song that I cannot remember. It's definitely not Fergalicious. Yes, Kev.
Oh, there you go. Kev's got your back.
Boys go look, they want my treasures, so they get their pleasure from my photo.
Kev is the type of person to listen to Fergalicious while he works out.
It's true, which is ironic considering he's like 16. So
I mean, it's still like it's the point. Like he's the type of person.
what?
He's at the top end of the TikTok.
How do you
age.
get a pie into your pants? That's my
I
question.
don't know.
No,
I'm maybe thinking that might be a spelling mistake.
All right, I need to look up Fergie peed her pants. I do remember her really horrible rendition of. Oh, holy crap, she did. A really horrible rendition of the national anthem.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
No, I'm sorry. I have an instinct to, in good faith, make fun of spelling mistakes because I find them humorous. I make fun of my own spelling mistakes. Trust me, I'm not trying to be like.
No, it's fine because I read
malicious
it and I was
at
like,
all.
that would make a really funny meme.
Oh, this makes me sad. Oh,
Did she peed her pants?
Yeah, because apparently, she admitted to it, and she was like, "This was while she was riding high on crystal meth," and I'm like, "Oh,
Oh dang!
I have to admit,
Bex.
I'm a little bit on your page here, Bex.
Listen, I never
what?
said I liked Fergie. Okay, I just quoted Fergie.
You're just
Listen.
familiar enough to know lyrics.
Yes, because everyone in my friend group, well, I shouldn't say friend group, everyone in my class and age group listened to that song because it was so freaking popular. It was ridiculous. So,
Actually, I can't mock that because I know lyrics to Spice Girls songs.
Spice Girls is amazing. So making it sound like it's bad. Spice Girls is amazing.
Not the word I would have chosen.
Can I
They were a
remove my-
thing.
Can I remove myself from stream?
I'd rather you didn't, because conflicting opinions makes for interesting conversation.
Listen, conflicting opinions are allowed for Realm of the Elderlings discussions, not for Spice Girls, okay?
Hey, look,
Spice Girls are
sometimes gluten-free
sacred.
is the best thing ever. We're good.
Thank you, Madison. Thank you. Listen.
Hey, I'm not saying they were dreadful. I'm just saying they were a thing that was.
They were the
Big?
Beatles of their time, okay?
They kind of were, which is really sad because the Beatles had way more talent. But and again, that's not saying Spice Girls don't have talent.
Yep.
But the Beatles had way more.
I mean, let's be
Way
honest.
more.
Spice Girls was a purely like industry manufactured thing.
Oh no, they were like a TV show band put together.
I love the Monkeys, but damn it, I love them. If you want to be
I
my
love
lover,
Sporty Spice.
you gotta get with my friends. So, hashtag girl
Well, here's an
power.
interesting thing.
So,
Sporty Spice, Mel C.
Yep.
Was in Jesus Christ Superstar in London a few years ago
really?
as Mary Magdalene, and Tim Minchin was Judas. I don't know if you're familiar with Tim Minchin. He's a comedian who works with music.
Wait, I
And
think I know who.
he's brilliant. The most brilliant song you will ever hear is his song about prejudice.
It's beautiful.
It's genius.
Can
And
confirm
he
Tim
plays
Minchin.
Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar, and he nailed it. I was so impressed.
Huh.
But yeah.
Unrelated, I don't know why this reminded me. If anyone hasn't seen Hamlet 2 with Steve Coogan, go watch it. It's hysterical. So,
Steve Coogan can be painful.
really? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only thing I've seen him in. So, well, that
Oh, okay.
he did
I know a lot of his back catalogue stuff, so he may have improved over the years.
He did a movie.
Hey, Mike, good to see you.
Hi, Mike. He did a movie that was like a play on Tristram Shandy. So it's like basically trying to. It's like a meta thing of like they were trying to adapt Tristram Shandy, but it's like very like self-referent. Oh, Tristram Shandy, a cock and bull story. It's got
there you go.
It's got Rob Brydon in it too.
Oh, he's brilliant, Rob Brydon. Oh, I
It's
could watch him for ages.
those are the two films that I've seen Steve Coogan in, and I should say I loved them both at the time that I watched them. If I rewatch them now, I'm not entirely sure, but I do have a desire to rewatch them. So
Yeah. I would recommend seeing it if you can find any of Rob Brydon's stand-up. He's very clever. Although the thing with a lot of British comedians is when they do their stand-up is they quite often revert to their really strong accents. And it's not always, it doesn't always
Subtitles.
translate well.
subtitles.
Well, yeah. But,
Although subtitles kind of mostly ruin the punchline.
yeah,
It's true.
So
it does. Because so often it's all about, the
timing.
Yeah. What's the word? The performance of it. Not Perfect by Tim Minchin. That's really good. I have never heard a Tim Minchin song that I didn't love, to be fair. He did a song years ago now. There was a bishop who had actively hidden crimes against children against the church. He'd known about it and hidden it. And when that came out, the Australian court wanted to charge him, and he fled the country. And Tim Minchin wrote a song saying, "Come home, we have things to ask you." And he made it into a song. And there was so much anger in this song, and it was hilarious, and I loved it.
Go ahead, buddy. Go on.
Yeah, I have the friend in college that introduced me to Tim Minchin, described him as what What's the other guy's name that did Inside? He's like he started as a
Bo
puppet.
Burnham.
Yeah, like Bo Burnham, if he actually was able to comment on political stuff and would be funny about and actually be funny about it.
Are you trying to say that Bo Burnham is not funny?
No, Bo Burnham. I think Bo Burnham is funny. My other friend did not think he was funny.
Okay.
But
I was gonna have to like literally drive to your house and fight you.
I think Bo Burnham is very basic.
Listen, I'm just in a very aggressive mood right now, so
yeah.
But yeah,
that stream was great actually. With books like Woe, it was good fun actually.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We had to agree to disagree on quite a lot of things.
Ooh, like what was the stream about?
It was the ranking of the Realm of the Elderlings books.
Oh.
And there were some hot takes. Oh,
I mean, Gary, you already knew my hot takes. So
yeah, I know, but I didn't know Leanna wanted to put Fool's freaking errand right at the bottom. I was like, what?
She would.
I was not okay with that.
Too, so
I'm not okay with that. Okay? Just saying.
I mean, you should expect unpopular opinions from Leanna at this point. So.
It's true.
Yeah, I know. I would. I'm clearly still not over that. Because, yeah, just wasn't expecting that. I should have, but I wasn't. Anyway.
Oh, did I tell you, Derry, that my best friend, IRL, has started the Realm of the Elderlings, and she loves Assassin's Apprentice.
Oh, she is not wrong. That's brilliant. This is great.
And so I texted her this morning. I was like, so when are you going to start Royal Assassins? And she's like, well, the hold is like 2 weeks at my library, so I might buy the book. And I'm like, don't do it. I'll do it. And she's like, I have limited space. I'm like,
do it. Did I get my way? No. But I also have, and I said this, is I have an experience with the series not a lot of other people have. I've read them so many times. I can give you a reason why all of them could be at the top of the list.
I mean, as Jimmy said, spoiler alert for the stream, he's like, no one noticed that I put all of them in green except for Rainwald Chronicles.
Yeah. But that because I'm okay with that. Like, yeah, everything belongs there. I'm not going to argue with that. So it was more interesting to see where the variation was in the books that people felt strongly about. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
So I do have a question about Dragon Keeper. With people that dislike Dragon Keeper on any part of the scale, I guess, do you find that they tend to dislike the Rainwald Chronicles like from the very beginning, or is it like a few books in?
No, they tend to dislike it right from the beginning, and I think it is almost entirely due to the fact that when it came out, it was the year between the Hunger Games book coming out and the Hunger Games movie coming out. It was literally that peak moment of demand for YA. And she hands the publisher this gigantic tome full of teenagers. And so they went, we're going to make that 2 books. So fill it up with more of those and we'll have 2 books.
Interesting. So she had to expand a lot on some of the stuff she was doing?
Those first 2 books was 1 book and it was split and the publishers asked for padding. And they just...
Okay, interesting.
It was not a good move. Because everything else in those first 2 books, if you take out those really tropey YA love triangle angst things, that those first 2 books do make one amazing story.
Yeah.
So I mean, you guys know, I try and tell everyone, okay, it's that was the moment. It has YA stuff in it. Try and move past that.
Yeah.
Because the next 2 books, you're back into regular Hob.
I mean, but I would also argue they're a bunch of teenagers.
So they're a bunch of teenagers, and that is how they behave.
And
And
I think that
you know,
makes it a little bit
really
more.
isn't much different in Royal Assassin.
Yeah, and I think with Royal Assassin and everything like that, in my experience with Dragon Keeper, that's non-spoilery for people that haven't read it. I felt like most of their behavior was excusable, outside of the one guy that I said leaned too much. Even though I don't think I saw him do any leaning.
Oh,
Outside
he
of
was
him,
totally Alina though.
yeah, he's totally a leaner, and he's not a teenager, so I think his behavior is kind of cringe. So I mean, outside of that, I'm fine with it. Even like the whole thing with the captain,
Yeah.
like that's cute. I like that.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
like how that's
Yeah.
doing things.
So
Oh.
that is the only instance of insta love that I will support, and I'm like, of course,
Oh yeah,
Rob doing it. So
Well, it
yeah. I
worked
think
for
I
me.
can support that as well. Just like
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it worked for me. It really did. And the fact that it uses these YA sort of themes to lean into some reproductive rights questions and women's rights issues that a lot of
Mhm.
young people really aren't thinking about at the time.
Yeah,
I really liked that it was sort of in there. And anyway, that's
I
I
do think
mean,
that like it I think I can feel the padding because I feel like it started off even
yeah,
slower than Fool's Errand.
yeah, yeah. It's then again, I try really hard to sort of let people lower their expectations enough that when they go in, they go, oh, there's actually some really good stuff here,
Yeah.
and keep going. So, yeah, it is an unpopular opinion. Well, maybe not unpopular, it's an uncommon opinion.
I think Rainwild Chronicles and Live Ship are similar in that obviously they're not Fitz books, but they're more plot driven
Yeah.
than character driven. Not that there's not obviously characterization and
Mhm.
character growth in them, but the focus is
It's
for plot.
moving the story along. We
Yeah.
need information and we need, that
Yeah.
stuff to get moving. Yeah, definitely. And of course that the last two books, you actually get world storyline. You actually get Chalced and you get
Not to set expectations, Pete or Anitha or anyone that's in the midst of Rainwild Chronicles right now. But when I read City of Dragons, I was like, oh, here's the Robin Hobb that I remember.
Oh,
so
we're back onto regular programming now.
Yeah, here's the trauma that I've been expecting. So
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's
Speaking of that, speaking of trauma and anger.
Do you want to read?
Yeah.
Was that what you were going for, or were you going?
I mean, no, I was thinking that I need to get on Voxer and do my how many wells.
How many ways?
How many ways to kill Hest?
Yeah, genuinely unpleasant person.
Mm-hmm. He is a genuinely unpleasant person.
I have to say, I did enjoy it when you did rejoin the Voxer with the methods of harming Hest, because I had missed my daily dose of killing Kyle. So
harming Hest. There we go. That's a better way of putting it. Thank you, Derry. I need that alliteration.
We had killing Kyle and harming Hest. It's clearly a theme, but we will start reading again because we've been chinwagging for a while. You still have PTSD from Assassin's Quest.
Zero context to that message is interesting.
Actually, true. You may not want to state that outside of BookTube. Anyway, all right. Well, how about we read another sort of half an hour? We'll go to 1:45.
Sure.
And here we go. Reading until. Where's my banners? Here they are. Okay. Wakey, wakey.
My dog looked up, was like, huh? Oh, no.
It's because Max loves us.
George is here, but she's gonna be slightly out of frame.
Hey, George.
Oh, and now she's gone. Of course.
Sorry, I shouldn't have spoken.
No, I spoke. So,
Yeah.
Hi, Max. Everybody's leaving me. What
Yeah.
the hell, man? Anywho, how'd you do?
Well, I got another 4% of the Wavy Dan done, and holy crap, Philip can write some gross stuff.
Nice.
Look. But yeah. Hey, Anita. Good to see you back. Does this mean the Shogun discussion is finished?
I don't think Anita was reading Shogun.
I thought she was.
Was she?
I'm not sure.
Not today. I mean, not recent. Like she already finished it last month, I think.
I did just meet it, Daniel, and
I read 14 pages this time.
That's a massive improvement. That's a 40% improvement, Evie. That's huge.
It's picking up.
Considering one of the pages was literally like a quarter of the page had text on it, and then another page was half of it.
That count.
It was the start of a chapter, so half of it was like blank. But whatever, it's fine.
It counts.
Yeah, it counts. But yeah.
2 pages left in Hamnet. Oh wow, contender for Book of the Year. That is really good to hear.
Ooh. Yeah, no, Anita didn't complete. Yeah, you were right, Derry. But I'm not really sure how many pages I completed. I know it was probably like 20 or 30 because this book, to clarify, this book has like really big margins and really big spacing. Like it's like double spaced, like a essay from high school. So it goes by pretty fast.
I don't think it's self-pub, is
No, it's not. It's his debut. It's Saga Press. It does. I don't know why. It does give me some self-pub vibes though. But
well, let's not try and downplay like crap on self-pub.
No, not in that
very
way.
much like it reads very much like a debut. Would you put it that way?
Yeah. It definitely reads like a debut.
Which is a little kind of weirdly unfair because I'm reading The Way of Idan, which is both self-pub and debut, and just feels so polished. It's ridiculous.
Guess what, guys? Self-pub can be really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. There are definitely people out there that I want to have words with that I will not attempt to have words with because I know I cannot convince them to drop their opinions.
I can't remember where I read it, but somebody said a man convinced against his will is of his own opinion still. And
that's
that's kind of true. Yep. You can argue until you're blue in the face, but if they don't want to change their mind, they're not gonna.
Yeah, the only time I would argue with them would be on a stream because then I'm not arguing with them. I'm trying to convince the audience.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Bex is doing well. Plowing through. Good stuff.
What's Bex reading? Do you remember?
She did tell us and I've forgotten. This is what happens when you have had a stroke and you weren't paying attention properly.
I mean, I haven't had a stroke that I know of. And I don't remember. So I'm just going back through the chat.
Oh, good plan.
Excellent plan.
Wound Healer Story. Fred Saberhagen. Magical swords? Oh, I like magical swords.
Watch, by the time that I find it, she's probably already gonna update it in the chat with a new message saying what she
probably. There you go. Oh, The Legend of Blackjack.
Well, nice.
There you go.
That means that you'll understand Fuji the Tam, who is, of course, our bot in the Keymark Discord. And
yes, I still need to finish Legend of Blackjack at some point.
Does that mean that you started it and managed to put it down?
Okay, look, this was back in October, and I was trying to read Arm of the Sphinx and Legend of Blackjack during that month, and they just weren't vibing. Neither of them was vibing with me.
No, fair enough.
Now, I did end up finishing Arm of the Sphinx and doing all of the rest of that series in December, but I just didn't manage to pick up Legend of Blackjack again. And
I did it on audio, and AR does his own audio, and it's so good. I usually can go up to 1.2, which I know isn't hugely fast, but it's faster than standard.
Yeah.
And I had to dial that right back to 1 because AR reads and performs with energy. And
I
it was
can imagine.
great.
With what I know about from Andrew Wizard's hangouts with AR,
He's a high energy guy.
Yeah,
and it comes across really well. Like I really enjoyed his audio for it.
I'm just imagining I know Andrew, Nico, and Andy.
Yeah.
Met up in real life, but like now knowing that Andy is high energy and Andrew is already high energy, just them in a room.
Andy is another level of high energy past Andrew.
Oh my god.
It's really wild.
How is that possible, genuinely?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
He might
Nico escaped from that because Nico's a far less energy guy.
Yeah. Poor
who
guy
knows?
having to manage that.
So much energy, he might randomly start a nuclear fission reactor.
Yeah. So much energy. I mean, it's fabulous because, it's all about putting.
I need Katie here to try to clarify what I was trying to say with this joke.
Yeah, Katie would know.
She would know.
She would totally know. You might have to wake up from under her enormous pile of books and homework that she hasn't got to yet, but she would know.
I think it's fusion. Because I'm trying to reference the reactors we have now, I think. Because a lot of that is steam and stuff. But fusion reactor.
Yeah, there's definitely explosive capability between the two Andys in that situation.
Absolutely.
But and both of them are fantastic people, all about generating the buzz for, self-pub and just independent authors in general. So you're like, yeah, that's pretty exciting. But I would probably want to go home and collapse after about 15 minutes. I'm like, yeah, okay, and I'm done.
Yep. Same.
Because it's a lot.
I mean, when you've got such low energy as an individual, I'm speaking for myself, all your friends are high energy, so
yeah.
It's a relative scale.
It kind of is. I mean, I struggle. I actually had to ask the teenagers who share my house yesterday. I said, could you give me like an intermediate step between the silence of my day while you're at school and you guys coming home and at me and arguing with each other at the same time at full volume? It's a lot because I go from silence to 11. I need something in the middle to just help me deal because it's exhausting. It's so tiring. And you forget how dramatic their lives are.
It's
when
true.
They're, 13 and 15. So
dramatic. So how's that? So you're living with friends now?
Yeah, I live with my best friend and her teenagers and their cat. And
cat is
it's a lot. So while on the one hand, my mental health is much better because she's an amazing cook. So I'm eating much better.
Ooh, yes.
It's like vegetables and like I had dal for dinner last night and homemade
what is that?
Flatbread. And it was amazing. Like all of it was made from scratch. It was phenomenal.
What is dal?
It's like a lentil-y, spicy sort of vegetarian-y flavory thing that's
spelled
just
like the
delicious
author.
with rice. And she made naan bread and it was just really yummy. And so I'm eating much better, which is good for my mental health. And there are teenagers who are very high energy And I love them dearly. I want to bang their heads together. It's a lot. And my best friend is very, very high energy. And she's a teacher. So I get the kids' dramas, and then I get her dramas with her kids. But there's a whole class of kids' dramas there. And it's like, it's too much drama.
Hopefully,
I'm going to go in my room and do a jigsaw.
I was going to say, hopefully you can retreat to your room
Mhm.
and they understand when Derry's in her room, that's her space, her bubble.
And they are really good. The only thing I find is because I'm not going to ignore them if they knock on the door. So quite often there'll be a knock on the door and I'll be in here and I'll be like, yes. And that's it. I wrote, the door is now open and I'm being talked at. And I'm like, okay. Go away. Look, I can't handle. It's like there's a point at which I'm like, I'm not even listening now. It's just overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it's too much. But here we go. Anita's telling us it's Indian dal. We've got dataka and we've got, I don't even know how to say it, but Anita made some today, and I bet it was delicious. And my friend makes it, and it is delicious. So I don't know. I genuinely have no clue what else is in dal but lentils, but other things are in it than lentils and spices. But it's yum, like really yum. And yeah, so she does the dish. She does the cooking. I do the dishes because I'm a little bit controlling, just a little, just the tiniest bit. And I have to do the dishes because otherwise what happens is I take a plate out of the cupboard and I'll be like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? And there'll be like a dried bit of food on the edge of the plate or something.
Yeah.
Dirty thing. So yeah, I can't. Close enough is not good enough for me. If you're washing something, it's clean.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Sorry, I'm distracted by watching George. She's currently laying down on the carpet and just like she's grooming herself.
Oh.
But every time she does this every single time. Every time she grooms her ear, she does like the doggy kick thing of
yes.
her leg. And yeah, it's hysterical. I love watching it. But Max is here too, which is amazing because he's actually able to get in his bed because George isn't in it. So
Fantastic.
That is fantastic. He caught his moment.
Right?
Yeah.
And Aaron is upstairs, like he's in the bedroom, so Max could go spend time with Daddy, but
this is
he's
true.
He's apparently a mom.
But we haven't heard shouting, so maybe Dad's being far too focused on the game.
True. I think there's a hockey game on now. So
so now he is watching sport. Okay.
Yeah, he is watching sport now, so there might be actual like yelling going on at some point too. So.
I see. Whereas I'm looking at my cat, and my friend's cat, he sleeps like an otter. Like he sleeps on, because he's an overbred Persian. Instead of having a flat face, he has a concave face. So his nose is an innie. He has an innie nose, and he struggles to breathe. So he tends to sleep on his back so that his face falls away from his nose. And he sleeps like an otter with his feet sort of just up like this. And it is the cutest thing because he has curly hair on his tummy that looks like a sheep's wool. Like the rest of him looks like a normal Persian, long white fur, and his tummy is curly. It's really cute. So
does sorry, the cat was messing with the plastic thing. So does Moxie, right?
Moxie, yeah, because he used to be called Mozart, and that was a bit too highbrow for all of us. We're like, no, he can be Mots.
Is your room his safe space now?
It is, which I find incredibly flattering. It's not unusual for me to walk out of my room, open my door, and the cat's by my door, and he sort of looks at me like, "Can I please hide in here?" And yeah. So I feel very special.
Does he sleep with you at night too, or no?
He doesn't, but that's more because I can't sleep with my door open, and I won't have a cat box in my room.
Yeah.
So it's like, sorry, dude. So when I go to bed, he has to go out.
Yeah.
So I got a very filthy look from him last night because it was about 2 degrees Celsius, and he was not impressed. But yeah, he's clearly forgiven me because he's sitting with me today. So, but yeah. Again, mental health. Having a cat here has been makes a huge change.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Evie, with having the cats and with Max, just having them around makes a difference.
Yeah.
So I've noticed a difference just with having the cat around. I think if the cat wasn't here, I may have bailed on the situation because it's really hard to cope with that kind of energy when you don't have any. So, but you get there.
But you have a confidant in the cat.
Yeah, we both huddle and hide in here together.
And also us too. So, you know.
Well, this is true. Leah does give me a funny look sometimes when I'm like, I'm hiding, and then I'll say, I'm going on a live with 4 other people. And I can almost see her brain going, how does that work? I'm like, yeah, but this is my subjects. These are things I genuinely have interest in and can find the energy for. And yes, I will sleep really well later because
and
I've chosen to spend this energy with these people.
Yeah, and it's not even like it's at least for me, it's hi George, bye George. It's for me in these types of like reading sprints, book discussions, whatever, it's either I don't spend as much energy or ideally, perfect situation, my energy is replenished.
Yeah. I just like talking with people who can have an emotional connection with markings on a page and, you know, creating mental hallucinations. This is fascinating to me.
We're going crazy together.
Yeah, I can handle that. We can have mass delusional, you know, discussions about completely made up fictional things.
Yeah,
and I love that. Because, you know, you get to segue off the ridiculous and outrageous into the really profound and the really important and completely avoid everybody's cognitive biases. And it's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
So you
can learn to look at the world in a new way.
Yeah, I think I do believe that. You know, it's rare that you find a reader who's closed-minded. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but
there are plenty. I think that we definitely have. I think the sphere that we're into lends to the opening of new doors within ourselves. Just because we're very like I think that not only do we attract those types of people here on BookTube, because we're all like, ooh, new things, new experiences. Yeah. This is so fun. And like, just like, let me show you these things that I love.
Yeah.
And just the positivity and warmth of that. Whereas the ones that the prototypical closed-minded reader that I see in my mind here is they're very focused on finding very singular things in books. I'm not going to really like talk about like what type of books they read.
It's fine.
Yeah, I would say that people that only read self-help books and they're and I'm sure they're not all like crazy and close-minded, but like there's like this.
I mean, it goes by the name. If you're only reading self-help books, you're very, I don't want to say egotistical, but very like
very self-focused.
Yes.
At the moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully some of those people will evolve out of that.
Yeah, and even within that, there's 2 different types of people that only read self-help books. People that are lost and they know it, and lost and they don't know it.
Yeah.
And the ones that don't know it are kind of the people that I'm thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder sometimes if that circle within the Venn diagram of readers, if that circle of readers is sort of virtue signaling almost of, look,
Oh yeah.
I'm working on improving myself. Aren't
Oh,
I a good
absolutely.
person?
Yeah.
And
So speaking of one of these people, so when I worked at Starbucks, there was a day where we shut down the entire store for a diversity training. And the reason we were doing this was because somebody in Philly had, because of some of our policies, had thrown out these black guys because they thought they were causing trouble. And Starbucks used this to institute some very anti-barista policies, just because one manager was being very stupid and very racist. So there was one of the speakers in this diversity thing. She was an older. She definitely had like curly gray hair, so I would say 50s, 60s. I don't know. She was head of something within Starbucks, and I don't think I listened to a word thing she said because she had a bookshelf behind her.
you're too busy trying to look at what she was reading.
Her books were color coded. There was a lot of self-help books, and she had not one but 2 coffee mugs on her shelves that had her face on them.
Oh, seriously? Oh god.
I am not joking. So
I
freaky.
think that's the death knell for me on that, because if you know you're going to be in front of a lot of people, you tend to want to check what's going to be behind you. And if you haven't looked at those mugs and gone, that might be a bit much, then how self-aware could you possibly be?
Yeah.
Not okay with that.
No, I will definitely judge people by their bookshelves.
As opposed to the company that I work for, the not chief financial officer, but like the chief information officer's boss. So my boss's 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 boss, super high up. He was doing giving like a speech or whatever, like state of IT, and he was like a guest speaker. And of course, everyone's working remotely, and he's working remotely as well. He forgot to blur his background, and so I just saw his bookshelves. All of his bookshelves, science fiction and fantasy. And
can I reach out to this person and say hi, or is that weird?
I literally messaged my boss, and I was like, "Do you think I'll get fired if I send him an email and ask him, like, you know, if he has any rep?" And so, long story short, I did, and I was like, "Hey, thanks for the talk or whatever. I couldn't help but noticing your bookshelves. I was wondering, I'm a big science fiction and fantasy reader as well. I was wondering if maybe you happen to have any recommendations. Here are some of my recommendations. Of course, I recommended Robin Hobb, Spirit Cuts Through Water, Books of Babel, which I had seen Books of Babel on there. So I was like, oh, he had to have read that, or maybe he wants to read it. And so he actually he responded. He's like, he recommended Joe Abercrombie, Brandon Sanderson. Fine, don't worry about it. Fonda Lee, which I was very surprised at.
Okay.
And he said he was in the midst of reading Books of Babel. So I was like, yay!
Nice.
Okay, there's hope.
At the very least, he peruses the r/fantasy top 100 list because all of those were in the top 10.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, it surprised me. It makes me, it genuinely surprised me because this guy's like, 60-plus-year-old white dude. So.
But I mean, speaking as not quite that old, but an older person, there was such a dearth of variety in fantasy and science fiction for a really long time. You kind of stop looking. It's like, there's no point. There's nothing here that I haven't either read or decided I don't want to read because, I've looked at these shelves so often. And then it was just such a long time before I went looking for books again. And then I was like, oh my God, look at suddenly there's loads. And I'm like, wow, okay. So I sort of think maybe he's done that. Maybe he's gone, okay, I've read this 6 times because this is the last one I found that was any good and just happened to see something. And now he's going, oh, well, I might have to check out these things, you know, and he's just finding his new groove.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Anita, it definitely wasn't the chief financial officer. The way that this company is set up, it's really weird. So it wasn't the CFO. So
the CIO, this chief information officer, is a legit position.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. A CIO. Yeah. Sounds like something in a spy network.
But it was the CIO's boss. That's
okay.
So
really going up.
That would be the CEO ?
No,
typically.
No.
That's a weird structure then.
I just wanted to ask Michael what he's reading that was so engrossing.
Yeah, so there's the CEO, and then he was the direct report to the CEO, basically. Okay. So he's the guy between. So the CIO in our company is like, there's CIO, this guy, and then the CEO.
Are you guys a publicly traded company? Do you know?
Yeah.
Like, do you have stocks? Oh,
yeah.
Can you
we're top 500.
What's do you share? I could just go look at your 10K and look at the structure.
Wait,
what's the company? If you don't care to share.
I'm gonna get doxed on the internet. I don't care. It's TJX.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Parent company of TJ Maxx and Home Goods.
That's right. I remembered hearing that before, but
Listen, Pete, I complain enough about my job to you guys. I feel like you guys should know what I do, where I work.
I have no idea what you do.
I'm just kidding.
I feel like there's a little bit of it. We're all a bit like Chandler Bing from Friends, where everyone knows that you work, but nobody actually says, where do you work and what do you do? Because
you work with widgets, right?
And you don't ask that because you just don't. That's not good manners on the internet.
Well, to bring this back to Realm of the Elderlings is all things I feel like do at this point in my life. You know, we only see certain sides of each other. And the first time my husband saw me on a work call, I think he was very confused because he had never seen me like that before. So
you're like, oh my God, you're the person that says that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm the person, because I was an office lady for a long time before I wasn't able to work anymore. And my favorite expression was always, can I leave that with you? Because that way you're confirming that I'm not going to do this. I'm giving it to you. You have to now acknowledge that I've given this task to you. And it's a nice way to do that. But that's possibly the most passive aggressive that I can be with that sentence.
Yeah, my favorite is as I said before, which is basically per my last email, but
always.
Yeah. I dream of retirement as well. I will never retire because I will never be able to retire because
life is expensive.
Yeah.
That's okay. You're better to be working and have decent income than not be working, rely on welfare, and just be like, I can't do stuff because I'm poor. So, hooray for fixed cost, unlimited broadband. That's all I can say.
But you've got food on the table. You got a roof over your head. That's all you need.
And I have good cooked food because my best friend is an amazing cook. So
get to have fun stuff like doll.
It's so great. Seriously. She uses every pot we own, but I'm okay with that because it's delicious. So books are expensive, Anita, and that's why most of them are ebooks.
Or
because they're a little bit cheaper here.
Come from me and other folks.
Yes, this is true. Although I discovered this morning, because somebody said, this is showing as delivered. Have you got it? And I'm like, no. And apparently when you change all your addresses on Amazon, it doesn't matter if you've made that your default address. You actually physically have to go into your wish list menu and find the settings in your wish list and manage the settings in your wish list addresses to change your address. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Thanks, Amazon.
I mean, really? You have to go and find it. It doesn't sort of anywhere on your wish list say, here's the address this is going to get sent to.
That's annoying.
It was
Well,
annoying.
I mean,
So I had
it does give you the city and state or country.
yeah, but you have to go looking.
True.
And I didn't know I had to go looking because I had changed my Amazon delivery address and my default address and my billing address, like all of the obvious ones you find when you're changing and updating your addresses everywhere. And missed that one. So I had to contact my old landlord this morning and go,
Hey.
is there anything there for me?
I
I'll
kept
arrange a courier to
forgetting.
come and get it.
I kept getting soap. Like I got deliveries of soap occasionally, but that delivered my old address in. I apologize. His owner is home, so he's a very anxious dog. So
Oh, he's excited.
he's an old man with anxiety that doesn't like people on his lawn,
Oh,
even when they're not on his lawn.
That's me, and that's Max. So, you know.
And he's blind.
Oh,
I
Look.
want to give this barking dog a cuddle.
Who knows what he'll do? It is it is kind of funny to see him run into things sometimes, though.
Dogs are hilarious.
It's not my. It is my roommate's, my landlord's dog.
roommate / landlord.
Yes.
Unrelated. Do you guys want to read again?
Sure.
Another half an hour, we reckon.
Yep.
Sounds good.
How before we start, how much longer do you want to go, Derry?
I still have a good couple of hours before the kids get in from school, so
Okay.
I'm good for a while.
I will try to last as long as I can.
All right.
At least for this sprint. Hopefully, maybe for another one after that.
All righty.
And then all bets are off after that. So,
So then we find out if you snore.
yes. I'll just
I'll have to set off all the timers to wake you up. All righty. Well, we'll read until 1:45 again, I think.
Sounds good.
And I'll see you all then. Anita beat us to it.
We woke Max up. He's groaning at us.
I
Aw,
got a filthy look.
Max.
I'll go and get him in a minute. But
Poor Max.
I physically recoiled from the book in that one. I was like, yeah, that was gross. It was kind of awesome, but I was not expecting it.
Doesn't make it any less gross.
No.
Oh, Max is back to sleep, so.
Oh, that's all right. We didn't disturb him too strongly. But yeah, how did you go, Pete?
Where did I start? A little over 30 pages.
Nice.
Again, it goes pretty fast.
It does.
Literally 10 pages. But
You've done well though, because you had 60 to go, and now you're down to less than 30.
Now I got 26 pages left. Literally.
Nice. The end is nigh.
Indeed. Actually, hold on. Let me make sure I can do math.
Can you do math?
That's debatable. 20. Yeah, 26. Okay. Yeah, 26. So,
see, Tanner showed up.
And Caitlin finished hers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yay! Easy 5 stars. It makes me excited.
Yeah.
What other books do you have to choose from, Caitlin? That's the real question.
Sort of Shannara. Going classics.
Wall of Storms! Yay!
I heard that excitement. I do have that on my list. I do have it on there, and it says recommended vociferously by Pete.
Yes, it is definitely like the more I like look back on it, the more I'm like, yeah, this is definitely my favorite series of all time.
Just wait till you finish Realm of the Elderlings, Pete. I mean, I say that
the thing is with Grace of Kings and all of that series, it hits a lot of things that I really, really, really like reading about.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if I had to choose my favorite series, it would be the Winter Night trilogy. So, but that's just because, like, it's a trilogy. So, and it's less room for, I don't know, not less room, but like every single book, I absolutely adore. Whereas Realm of the Elderlings, just because there's so many books, there's more room for,
wibbly wobbly.
Not every book is gonna hit, 100%.
Yeah.
So doesn't mean that they're not all 5 stars, but you know what I mean. So
I totally am, Anita.
Listen,
Totally am.
If I had to choose a favorite series based on like hierarchy, it would be Winter Night trilogy. But Winter Night and Realm of the Elderlings are on the same tier. So
yeah, it's like so many things. I mean, you can have a favorite, and it doesn't take away from another favorite. Yeah, because I love Realm of the Elderlings, but I love Discworld as well. Yeah, and one doesn't take away any love for the other.
Yeah, like you can have one best friend, doesn't mean you can have more than another best friend, Yeah,
and you get different things from each relationship.
Yeah.
So, and that goes for the books as well. So I get it. It's only when people say it's not like that Realm of the Elderlings is not their favorite, and I'm like, why not? I am not okay with that.
How dare you?
I reckon. It's like, are you broken in some way?
I feel like if they're broken, then they should like Realm of the Elderlings more, though.
They really should. And this is the basis of my niggle with Andrew and Nico. As I said,
their opinions don't matter.
No, their opinions do matter. The fact that their opinions are wrong is more of the concern, which of course isn't true. Nobody's opinion is, well, unless it's just blatantly non-factual, but
Yeah.
On a subjective issue, you can't have a wrong opinion.
True.
It just makes me sad because it means they didn't find the same joy in the last half of the series that I did. And that genuinely makes me sad. I'm like, oh, that, like, I'm really disappointed that they didn't have that same love.
Yeah.
But, you know, it
think,
is what it is.
I don't want to overgeneralize Pete, I don't want to overgeneralize Nico's and Andrew's like reading taste, but I feel like they're very much more like plot driven readers, like action wise.
I think they do both prefer a
Yeah.
bit more action in their stories, which, hey, totally valid. So
Yeah. Like knowing that about them, it kind of like it makes sense that like Andrew would be like, ugh, Dragon Keeper.
yeah, because there's not a whole lot of action in it, and what there is quite late in that tetralogy, that if by that point you've kind of zoned out on it, you're not going to get any joy from. So.
Yeah, especially considering some of the books he really like his love for Legend of Blackjack. That is a super like just
it's nonstop.
It's a nonstop book.
Yeah.
And Kingdom of Liars is very similar. Like it goes from thing to thing to thing really quickly. And I'm like, can you slow down just a hot second and like do just a little bit of navel gazing,
take
please? Yeah. Like navel gaze about the city. Like, tell me about your city. Give me some vibes, man.
I can't remember. Does Andrew like Trader's Blade?
I don't remember. Funny feeling didn't.
I don't remember at all. He might have not liked that one scene at the very least.
Okay, because I was gonna say that is like I felt like I was having whiplash reading that book.
I'm interested to read it. I found a hardcover in Night's Shadow, the second one.
Wait, I thought you already had read it.
Nope.
Oh.
This is like us all having mass hallucinated that Anita had read Sunless Ends.
Yeah. Yeah, she hid that one really nicely under the radar there.
I mean, that happened with me and Alan too, where Alan thought I had read all the books of Babel like before, and it was what?
When Pete, when you and Anita really just part of your brand is reading Alan books, goes automatic with the territory that we assume you've already read all the Alan books.
Would you read all of his back catalog?
Absolutely.
Not quite.
I'm sure you would.
Of course I would, Anita.
Hey, everybody has to have their most infamous moments brought up again.
Yeah. I know I'll read like the Cicero trilogy eventually, especially if I end up actually going to Italy at some point.
Yeah.
I'll do like a year or so of just like, I'm gonna just read a lot of Roman stuff.
Yeah, and then when you go to Italy, you'll be like, oh, that's where that happened, and oh, that's where that happened, and oh, now I know what that view was, and
that's watching Alan's live streams about like that sort of thing
was amazing.
Yeah, and I think he's not doing it. Is he? He was thinking about doing the other one. Oh,
it might be today.
He was thinking about doing it today. I think he's having camera problems.
No, he was doing Shogun today.
Oh, he was doing Shogun today, so he'll probably be doing the part 3. But yeah, those videos are so just fun to watch him nerd out.
Oh, they're so great.
Right?
Oh, so great.
I don't know half of the stuff, and it's still just like fun to see the things that he finds interesting.
Is infectious. Like I'm so happy that you're engaged and joyous about this.
And like even those like I think you just got to be like excited to learn weird stuff, like using urine in a laundromat.
Yeah, but I love knowing things like that. Those are the things that just bring me joy. I'm like, I love knowing just random bits of bollocks that have no bearing on my life. But those are the things I know. It makes me very useful for a pub quiz. Not so much if you actually want something done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like just the little bit of investment I have from Augustus. Like there are a few things that I'm like, oh, I know that person from Augustus.
That's cool.
So, speaking of that, Derry, you haven't read The Folding Knife, right?
No, I haven't, because KJ Parker is really hard to get outside of the States.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's true.
Pete, I'll just say this: Basso is giving me not necessarily Augustus vibes, but just like I don't know, just the political maneuvering going on, but actually through banking. It's just giving me that type of vibe.
I understand.
And
I need to reread Folding Knife because like it didn't like hit a lot for me. And I feel like being more acquainted with KJ Parker's writing, like from The Hammer and some other stuff, or not The Hammer, The Company and stuff, and like being a little bit more. I think my expectations betrayed me. I think I wanted a little bit more plot in that book when I read it.
Yeah, he's very, as I mentioned to Anitha, reading KJ Parker's shorter works, even though I did the complete opposite of reading all his shorter works minus a few novellas. Before diving into his novels, whereas Alan's read all the novels and then started on the short stories and stuff. But for me, reading his short work, short fiction, really helped me with my expectations because he's really just doing the same thing in longer form of just this very kind of slow, methodical exploration of characters that really these characters are like, you're not supposed to like them, but you're not supposed to hate them either. Like, they're just
people.
I mean, especially watching the KJ Parker interview that Zara
did.
Like,
oh my gosh, it was so good.
Yeah, right? So, seeing him reinforce what I thought of, like, he's just basically like he has a problem and he wants to explore it and see how would I react in that situation. Not necessarily author insert, but like it's a very everyman thing, I guess. Like, it's not like, oh, this guy has magical powers and oh my god, you know, it's not that type of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. Oh, hi, George. Bye, George.
Georgie Porgy. Also, Dagger and Coin. Absolutely, people should really read Dagger and Coin. I think it's very, very interesting.
That's
Daniel
Abraham. It's not Long Price Quartet, right?
That's
but
the other
it's
one.
Not, yeah, but it is still really good. Definitely one of those series. I was like kind of mid on it until the ending, and I'm like, yeah, that actually wraps it up quite nicely.
Kind of across the board with Abraham.
Yeah, where like the beginning is kind of mid.
Yeah.
And then you get to the end, or it can be mid, or it can be like pretty good. But like once it gets to the end, you're like, oh my gosh, that's actually like really good.
Yeah. That's it. Laying the groundwork just exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely like the end of it better than Alan because there was kind of a big thing that happened at the end of book 3 that Alan didn't like. And I was like, this is interesting. I'll see how this goes. And it didn't throw me as much. And I was like, oh, I actually like this. Yeah.
I'm just going to go and get Motzi.
Kitty. Yeah. I'm looking forward. I'm rereading Long Price Quartet this year. So it's be fun.
At some point, I will get to it. So.
June. You should get to it in June.
I'm already starting Soldier Stone, which, oh shit, I don't think I have that on my list. I need to put Soldier Stone on my list, my buddy read list.
Anitha, Dagger and Coin is not Long Price Quartet. I cannot emphasize that more.
Oh, it's all gone very quiet.
Motzi. Oh, hello.
Say hello to the people. This is the floof.
The floof with the face.
Yes, with the face, with his inny nose. I'm going to look at the people.
You.
There you go.
I randomly have the second book in Soldier Sun. I do not have the first. I do not have the third. I just have the second.
I'm starting it in June, so
I'm trying to remember what the name of the books are. There's
Shaman's Crossing.
Renegade's Magic is the third one. There you go. Renegade's Magic. Or something like that, I think. Renegade something.
I'll probably be using June as a catch-up month for a bunch of things because it's kind of it is kind of open, but July is also definitely like not open because I have a bunch of new releases I'm reading in July, including Daniel Abraham, Blade of Dream.
Ooh.
That is the weirdest title ever. Just because it's just my mouth wants to add syllables. Either Blades of Dream or Blades of Dreams or Blade of Dreams.
Yeah, it just needs something more.
Yeah.
I expect that that's purposeful. I expect there to be a blade, and I expect there to be a singular dream.
Just one.
Just one dream. Only one dream. And I think he could do some really interesting things with that. Like, that.
Yeah.
I don't remember who the protagonist is supposed to be, but like, because this is the series where the protagonist is different every single each of the 3 books. Because it's like City of the Last Chances in essence, where the city feels like the main character a little bit, but also not that. Like it's in the same realm where like feeling the city's vibe is super important for the book, essentially.
Good night, Emily, by the way.
Good night, Emily.
Thank you for coming and joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
I'm going to put this cat back down because clearly he's still asleep. I'll just have to show you to the people.
Anitha, do I have to just tell you Dagger and Coin is terrible until you decide to like not have any expectations for it?
Cat
Sorry.
Yay!
That's the thing with Persian cats. It's just
any long-haired cat. Like
trying to give
me trying to like.
Yeah, all the time. Shocker. Oh, you see now? Yeah, he's basically just rolled over and gone back to sleep.
Yeah. Dagger and Coin. Anitha, for Dagger and Coin, one of the characters isn't a character until like book 2 or 3, 4. Like he doesn't gain a character until book 4.
Ooh,
but he's there.
So he's just there, taking up space.
Like he does things, but he doesn't feel like a real character until book 4.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh, okay, you're here, you're doing your thing, but
okay.
You're kind of.
That's good to know. That is good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that cat, seriously. But yeah, I've got Soldier's Son going June through August, and I'm doing the Daughter of the Empire trilogy with Alan in July through September. And today, this morning, I've joined. Yes, and Evie. And this morning, within Jimmy's Discord, I've just joined a buddy read of J. Christoph's Nevernight trilogy.
Nice.
Which will take us through to July, where we're going to then reread Empire of the Vampire in August, because we're pretty sure the sequel will be out toward the end of the year.
And it'll probably get 5 special editions for the arcs again.
Oh, I hope so. But it means that right in the middle of my read with Alan and Evie of the Daughter of the Empire trilogy, I'll be reading Empire of the Vampire, and Alan's already locked in to talk to me. So it's going to be so much fun. So
that'll be hilarious. I mean, I would love to see Alan do like an Empire of the Vampire ACOTAR vlog style thing.
So much.
I know, but that's the fun of it.
So much leaning, and
Yeah, no, there's a lot of things in there that I like. I have no intention of ever reading any Christoph.
I love it. I've already read it twice, and I don't know if it's because I'm in New Zealand and he's an Australian author, and I'm just so familiar with the sort of Aussie mindset.
Yeah,
that it's hilarious to me but not in a I'm making fun of myself way. In that, no, this is just genuinely funny. I find it hilarious. So I'm always very sad when people don't get it.
Yeah, maybe it's just I think he takes himself too seriously. He takes
And
the
that's
edge
the
too
thing, he
seriously.
And I think it helps if you know Aussies as
Yeah.
a culture, because then you understand what they're doing. Because it does come across like that, I think.
Maybe it's hit or miss, because like there is like some Aussie humor that I like enjoyed before, like that I've consumed and really enjoyed.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's the specifics combined with the Aussie sensibility with the specific subject matter, and I think it hits too close to people that genuinely take that thing seriously.
Yeah. And that's a definite. And this is it. I can't have a go at anyone who feels that way, because I can totally see why it would come across like that. It's just not. But that's a fine line between what somebody's going to find funny and what somebody finds offensive. And I just love it so much. It's so funny.
Yeah, you're just reading Empire of the Vampire as a straight up comedy.
I totally am. And it's glorious because it's mockery without being mockery. It's so good. You see, Daniel agrees.
He understands.
He totally does. And yeah, I only heard about it because there had been a whole bunch of people ranting about the review that he left of Empire of the Vampire on Empire of the Vampire.
Yeah.
And going, this guy just needs to get over himself. I read it and I was almost in tears, crying with laughter. I was like, they have missed the point on this so badly, because this is peak comedy. And yeah, I think if you can read that review and go, nah, it's not for you. If you read the review and you're laughing, you're going to love the book.
Yeah. Speaking of Aussie, although I think she's a New Zealander, have you read Gideon the Ninth, Gary?
I have not read Gideon the Ninth, but as far as I'm aware, yes, it is a Kiwi. But I haven't read Gideon the Ninth, and that's Jake's fault, because the first time I heard about it was Jake throwing it across the room.
Well, if you want a buddy read, well, considering the last buddy read we were supposed to do, I bailed on it. If you have any interest in it, I volunteer as tribute.
It will be much later in the year at this point.
Yeah.
Because, it's already March. And I'm like, what? And it's like,
somehow.
Maybe.
You mean April?
I do mean April.
It is April. That's right. I just
finished March. You're right. It's totally April. I should know this. I'm captaining an April readathon.
Oh, yay.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You are. It's going on right now. Sheesh. And these next 2 or 3 months are going to be going by so fast for me. I already know it. I have so many things happening in these next 2 months, and it's
a lot.
And then August is going to be here, which is my busy season. The first week, at least.
Yeah. Because
for my job.
Yeah. I might look at that. I might look at the audio for it. Who does the narration? Do we know?
I don't know. I can look it up.
Google knows. Google knows everything.
All the things.
All of the things.
Yeah. Google has the answers. Well, Google will answer all the questions, but the answers may not be true.
It's
Moira
like
Kirk,
an AI.
Warrior Kirk. I cannot pronounce that name. Wow. Moira. Quirk.
Moira.
There you go. My tongue and speech impediment and small mouth cannot get that name out. So
Moira is quite a Celtic name, I think. Moira. But,
probably.
But yeah.
Anyways, y'all want to read again?
Yeah, it might be the last one, I think. That'll give me time to wash the dishes before the children get home.
Nice.
Because, yeah, I haven't done that, and I should.
In other news,
Yeah.
it's Scottish.
Oh, Scott. So I wasn't far wrong.
Yeah, you were very, very close. It means either bitter, rebellion, or wished for child. So, like, some very weird
That was
contrast.
some very specific emotions there.
Yeah, very much so.
All right.
You either really, really want this child, or you're just bitter.
And to be fair, people who really, 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 work hard for children can often be quite bitter about all of the disappointments. It's a hard thing to stay cheerful through. Anyway, let's go. Half an hour more.
Sounds good.
All righty.
You're on mute, Derry.
There we go. How many pages did you end up knocking out, Evie?
I literally have 10 pages left.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to be staying up already way past my bedtime, but I'm definitely going to be staying up to finish this book.
Woohoo.
Take you about half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it won't be that bad.
That's awesome.
I sent you a voice message, Pete.
Ooh. Ooh, my.
It's just the end of chapter 16.
I don't remember chapter numbers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm
You've
sure
only got
you'll
to read it 20 more times, Pete, and then you'll have them down.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's basically just a live reaction of what I put in the KJ Parker channel on.
I think I know what it's I think I know what it is. It's the thing that happens near the end. That's
the thing that the thing of the thing. Yes.
Oh yeah. It's exactly what I thought it was. Yeah. Okay, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. How to talk to each other when you're trying not to give away spoilers.
Yeah.
The thing where with the person did the thing and then the thing happened.
Yeah. So I know Alan describes Long Price Quartet as like Shakespearean in its tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He doesn't use that phrase for the folding knife, and that makes me angry because this is a Shakespearean tragedy. Like, it's like it starts off as 40 years later. Like the book starts off that, so literally as soon as I'm done, I'm going to read that section again, the very start, the 40 years later part, because I'm like, I know, like it's just, God damn you, KJ Parker. Like,
that's awesome. Well, I didn't have any earth-shatteringly gross moments for a change.
Yeah.
But I have met the story's creeper because, they all have to have one. So, yeah. How about you, Pete? How'd you get on?
I did good. I stopped in the middle of a action scene.
Yay! Have you gotten to any of the songs? Apparently there's like a 3-page song in there.
Yeah, I have. I even read it.
Tom Bombadil?
No, not Tom Bombadil.
Dang it.
No, it's Bob Tomadil.
No, it worked.
That's brilliant.
It fit in the story. So yeah, I was okay with that. Whether or not it actually has any. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I've got my windows closed because they're doing work outside, and my room is now really warm, and it's putting me to sleep.
I'm sure
out of context, Darian is just yawning because Philip's book is just so boring.
It's true. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Not, I promise it's not.
The next word out of your mouth is going to be value.
Well, that's kind of how it's going to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
We had, whether the song contains any in-world irrelevant lore, I don't know yet. So, because that's the thing that I know about Tolkien is that kind of doesn't. So I can ignore them.
Unrelated, but tangentially related. Can't tell you how much I just want to pick up Royal Assassin right now.
Well, I'm never going to argue with you on that one.
Yeah.
All I have to do is remind you that you only have 10 pages left.
No. I'm saying after this. But I
have no problem with this.
Listen, I've already disappointed Tanner. and I need to reread Sinless Innocence. And I also need to reread Winter of the Witch. And then I need to read Wall of Storms.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, yeah, you've got a lot on your plate.
yeah.
Maybe
Wall of Storms.
Yeah. You could reread on audio.
I've heard the audios are not good.
They're not great, but Farsi is not horrible. It's only live ships that I will tell anyone and everyone to avoid like the plague.
I mean, I might do audio like on my second reread of the series, but like on the first reread, I just want to be able to dive in and pick apart stuff with my eyeballs.
I'm looking forward with the illustrated editions to look at the pretty pictures again.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
I really wish they were going to do it for the rest of the series.
Well, we should know soonish because it's the 25th anniversary this year.
Oh,
Ship of Ship of Magic. So.
I thought that had already passed for some odd reason.
So Subterranean Press is doing live ship traders editions.
But I want an affordable version that's illustrated and nice.
Yeah, and they're already all sold out anyways, so.
Exactly. Yeah.
98. So yeah, 25 years.
Yeah, that's 25 years this year.
Yeah. Oh, that's not going to go in without bending, so I won't do that. Oh. Yeah, because if they do similar to the Farseer editions, they're not outrageously expensive.
No, they're for the level of quality.
They're amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my gosh. So I hope.
I read 16 pages correct because math. Anita's over here doing the math.
Well
done.
Thank you, Anita, for the math.
It's important. I'm going to call it because I'm serious. I have to open some of these windows. I'm dying.
And don't forget to do dishes.
I know. I don't want to. But I'm going to have to. I don't want to. But it's kind of the deal to be fed awesome food. So.
It's true.
Yeah, better do that. Anyway, enjoy your evenings. Sleep well, everybody who is in the Northern Hemisphere. If you're still here, Lauren, have a lovely afternoon. And yeah, I will catch you all next time. I love you and leave you.
Bye.
Bye.